Alright, I've got a confession to make. I've fallen off, and I've fallen off pretty bad. Um, a lot of people will tell me otherwise, and have told me otherwise, but I know deep down in myself and deep down in my heart that I'm a bit disappointed. Now, I've been dealing with weight gain, unstable mind, reverting back to old habits, and being deceived by a certain person or certain people. Now, that with coupled on top of work and life in general, it could really just begin to overwhelm your mental space. But not all is lost, and not all has gone. I've still got a fighting chance, and so do you. If you guys are new to this channel, my name is Mal. I'm a 20-something-year-old trying to live more simply and intentionally. Today's video is about taking control after you've fallen off track. Now, I want all of you guys to repeat this right after me. I am the driver. Come on, say it with me. I am the driver. In any circumstances of trying to deal with getting back onto track, the first thing that you needed to do is to figure how you got off track in the first place. Okay? Now, ways to go about that is I always go back to the root, and that is you. That is me in this scenario. Me. Taking personal responsibility and accountability is where we can start. How did I get myself into this situation? And better yet, why did I get myself into this situation? Things like that. When you understand the person that you are and understand the actions and intentions behind your actions, you then begin to know why you actually went into that place in the first place. So when we learn how to take personal responsibility and accountability for how we got into the situation, we can then understand ways to get out of it. Now, as I mentioned before, I have been dealing with weight gain as of late. You guys can probably tell your boy's getting a bit chubbier, but things have gotten a lot better in the past 2 weeks. I just wanted to cover over the fact that this weight gain wasn't just random. It was things that were brought up, things that happened in my life. And like I did tell you guys, I want to get real with you guys today. I'm not saying that I've fallen off track because of these certain yada yada yada, this and that. I wanted to tell you guys that the reason why I fell off track was because of me. It's because of the way I handled these situations and the way I didn't accept personal responsibility and accountability at first. And that's totally fine, because we're not always going to do that. It's almost human nature to avoid taking personal responsibility and accountability. But I wanted to explain my way of getting out and getting back onto track, because I did fall off, and I've been fell off. I've been off for quite a while if we're thinking about it, but in this past month it was pretty bad. It was pretty bad in terms of mental space. Now, essentially what had happened was, I'm not going to go too much into detail with it, to be honest, but I've been deceived by one of my closest mates, and I've known this person for like around 8-9 years since high school. So it's pretty unfortunate that in our adult life now that things like this are still happening. Like, boy, leave the drama back in high school, there's not too much drama. It was just more of being deceived and more of the fact that boundaries were not respected. All of that combined with, a certain person as well. Like, I'm going to get personal again. There was a certain person that I was kind of seeing. I wouldn't say seeing, I don't know. I was seeing a certain somebody, and let's just say that I was being led on. Let's just say that I was being led on. In both that little short-term thing that I had with seeing that person, and also being led on in this friendship with a person that I considered a brother as well. So things like this that come up in your adult life, it happens. It happens to all of us. A lot of this brought about that mentality of me me not thinking that I'm good enough, me thinking that I am not enough, that I'm not worthy enough, and that no one will ever love me. I've always grown up with that mentality just in the back of my head, and I'm not asking for anyone's pity. It is just, if you guys can relate as well, when you've always been a second option in everyone else's life, it just sucks balls. It really sucks, you know, that when you become the second option again, when you actually have taken that step to get out of your comfort zone and you become someone's second option again. So, you know, sometimes you tend to think, is it me? Am I the problem? Am I the issue? Am I the reason why? What is it about me that makes people think like that? I ask myself that. I ask, why me? You know, and then I realized that I've got to stop asking myself, why me? And instead of asking yourself, why is this happening to me? I want you guys, and I started asking myself, what did I learn from this? To be honest, to put it bluntly, I learned to not trust a single mother chucker out there. No one, nobody. Okay, and I know that's a given, that you should obviously just trust yourself. But when you have mates, and these are really, really close mates, these are people that you think you're going to be doing life with, a mate of almost 10 years, you know, to deceive you like that, it really isn't the best feeling. Look, I'm not gonna lie, the friendship was drying up anyways, but still, I was like, come on, mate, you could have at least tried to do something. But no matter how many times all of us collectively as a group of mates, try to help this person, like, at the end of the day, you can't help someone who doesn't want help, and who can't help someone who doesn't want to help themselves. From that experience, learning what happened during that fall off of that track and getting back onto it. So I've always told myself, like, going through the problem and not around it is the best viable option to just almost going through life. You gotta go through the tough stuff in your life. You gotta go through the problems. You can't really go around it. You can't beat around the bush. You might find snakes or spiders or whatever that creep the hell out of you around the bush. Yes, go through the bush, there might be thorns. You never know what's going to be in there. But there's another side to that bush. You know, you need to get onto the other side, and on that other side is where you will find closure. And me personally, closure does not always mean it's going to be good. It can be good and it can be bad. It really depends on how you view the closure and how you utilize it to your advantage, how you utilize it to your healing. So basically for me, I've had to deal with so many bushes in my life trying to get through to it and always getting closure. Sometimes you'll never go through that bush because sometimes these bushes are not just bushes, but they're forests that you don't want to go through because it can get quite dark, quite cold, quite lonely in that forest. So after everything I've just explained to you, I literally started blaming them. I started blaming them in the initial stages. And yes, blaming someone else is almost the automatic, the natural way of self-defense in our human nature. But it's so important to not necessarily bring that blame back to you, but taking personal responsibility and accountability and learning from that. Why did you put yourself in that situation? These things can be avoided. For example, that person that I was seeing, I didn't have to go on that online dating app to see them, did I? But I wanted to get out of my comfort zone, and there's no harm in that. And I just want to say this, especially to my boys out there. You are not the problem, okay? Most of the time, at a certain stage, you are not the problem. So, like I said, instead of asking yourself, why is this happening to me? Start asking yourself, what have I learned from this? My solution to this whole concept of going through your problems and grabbing the components and creating a solution was that I needed to act on the things that I can control, which is me. I can control me. So I started controlling my eating habits, and I've just lost probably a kilo or two just in this week, which I'm really, really happy about. I've slept better, and I started decluttering my room. Now, I did make a video just 2 weeks ago regarding decluttering in life. I mentioned this in that video. You can often find that a clean room helps foster a clean mind. So my departing message to you guys is, No matter how rough the road or the terrain may be, remember that you are the driver. You steer where your life is heading. And remember that it's always okay to pull over here and there. And thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you guys found this video helpful, please give it a like. And if you guys have any questions regarding this week's topic, and if you guys have any other experiences, please drop it down in the comment section below. I'd like to know what you guys are going through as well and how you're dealing with getting back on track. If you guys are enjoying my content so far and want to catch up fortnightly with new videos, please consider subscribing and become a part of the fam today. But with that being said, like always, you guys stay safe, stay tuned, and stay true. Till the next one, take care of yourselves.